We are live and ready to start House of Flame and Shadow. Well, not actually reading it, but talking about it.
Yeah.
Because we've already read it. I got
Yeah.
my copy right here. We got
I
our
do have it.
I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition.
I have the Books a Million exclusive.
That's funny because I also heard Barnes & Noble, Books a Million, Target, and Walmart all have different extra bonus chapters in them.
Yeah. It's a clever way to get money from us.
Ray's like, Ray didn't think that was right because what are you gonna do? Buy the same book from all the different stores just for those extra chapters? And they're like, oh.
Yeah, me and Ray talked about that. He was very against it. But I saw though that some people said, I think between Reddit and Tumblr, people have posted just like the bonus chapter so you don't have to, spend like $30 to get yourself another copy.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Karina's here. Well, it should be an interesting discussion. We were just saying that right before we went live. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, guys.
Didn't read this, obviously. We're just here for y'all. Aw. That's so sweet, Sam. So glad you joined.
Thank you guys for being here.
And hopefully my sister and her boyfriend show up.
Oh,
sometimes my sister loves to watch my videos. So she was in our the last live discussion I did. So
oh, that's awesome. I love that you have this support from family.
Right? Like my sister, she sent me some books before for help support my channel, which was awesome.
That really is so sweet.
Yeah, so hopefully she'll show up too, which would be nice. I texted her and be like, "Hey, I'm going live tonight if you want to join."
Oh. Well, hopefully she'll be here. Does she read anything SJM?
I don't know if she reads SJM, but I know she loves young adult books. Like she's the one who gave me Eleanor and Park.
Yeah, I remember. You said you're like, I've got to read this because my sister loves it.
Yeah.
And then you ended up really liking it, right?
I did, and my mom wanted to borrow it after watching my video on my review of it. So I gave it to my mom. She still has it.
That's amazing.
And then a little while after that, my sister also gave me another Rainbow Rowell book called Fangirl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I have both of those. I haven't read them, but every time I go to Unhaul, I always like pick them up, but then I put them back down because something tells me I need to read them.
Yeah, I saw recently that there's like a new special edition cover with sprayed edges that looks absolutely stunning. My sister actually gave me the original cover, so it's like original, like a much older one.
Of which one? Sorry.
Fangirl.
Oh, okay. I might have seen that too in Barnesy when we went last time.
Did we?
I don't know. I saw a Rainbow Rowell like special edition one with like in a hardcover. Next time we go, we'll see if we can get
Definitely.
our eyes. Yeah.
Besties in the house. Yep. All the besties. Great group in the comments. Well,
it really is.
We have our bestest friends in the comments. So
oh, how perfect is that? Oh my god.
Right? I know Kaylani's won't be able to be here, but maybe she'll pop in and say hey.
Yeah, maybe. I know that with the time difference, she's still like at work right now. So.
Yeah. Well, we also got plenty of House of Flame and Shadow talk, so we might as well jump right into it since we're a few minutes in.
For sure.
And why don't we start with who we both are in case you have any new people coming in and give our ratings?
Of course. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first? What would you like?
You can start first.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I know the besties are in the comments, but like Amanda said, if anybody else pops in or is watching, my name is Dana. You can find me on YouTube at Dana Ella and on Instagram at Dana Ella Reads. And I gave this little thickums here 2 stars. 2 stars. And it was painful to give it 2 stars because it made me so sad that that's where I was at. But by the end of this, I might talk myself down to 1 star. We'll see. You never know.
Ouch.
But I'm very happy to be here though, because this will be fun.
Right? If you're new to my channel, I am Amanda from Amanda's Booktopia. So welcome if you're here for all those new people out there. And I gave this originally 4 stars. Then Dan and I discussed this not that long ago, just the two of us. And then I lowered it to a 3-star. Because there were some things that she brought up that I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree. So I dropped to a 3-star. So that's where I'm at now.
It's a whirlwind.
It goes after this live. Because, whichever live show I'm in, I swear my ratings always change. Except for the last live show.
Yeah, you stayed solid on that. But I think too, it's just like talking. Like I know everybody jokes around about how like ratings change and stuff, but I really think it's like talking it out and spending more time like thinking about it, because I know for me it's like I'll read something and then I give it a rating, and then sometimes like after I sit with it or after I actually like start saying words out of my mouth about it, I'm like, did I like it? Or maybe like I loved it, Who knows? It can go either way.
I gave a 3-star, but I'm always thinking of dropping it. Oh boy. Where did you guys rate the other two?
Okay, let me look it up just to make sure I'm saying factuals and not lying here.
I'm doing the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, what did you rate them?
So the first one I gave 5 stars.
Okay.
That might be kind of hard to see.
Yeah, sometimes the brightness. Oh, there we go.
There we go. So 5 stars on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one. Oh, apparently I also gave that one 5 stars.
Stunning. Okay. So when I read the first one, it was so hard for me to get through like the first half of the book. And I don't know, it felt like info dumpy, but also, like I feel like I hadn't read too much fantasy, and I think maybe like my brain wasn't exactly ready for it. But I gave it 5 stars because of guilt. Like I felt like I was just supposed to give it 5 stars, so I gave it 5 stars. And then after I thought about it more, I was just like, the first half felt like a drag. And so then I changed it to 4 stars. But I've heard from besties that when they went back and read it through, they loved the first one even more. So I wonder if I ever do reread it. I don't see that happening, but if I ever do, who knows? It'll be more. But I did give book 2 5 stars. But I've only read them once. Like I've never gone back and reread. I started to reread the first book when I was getting prepared for HOFAS, but then I stopped. But the crazy enough though is I was enjoying it, the first book, so much more than I did the first time. So I think if I would have finished my reread of it, I think I would have gave it 5 stars.
Right.
Yeah, I think it would have bumped.
Lonnie's favorite, the first one.
Yeah.
Book 1 was 5 stars, and book 2 is dropped to a 4 on a reread, which is also debatable.
I'm very interested, like if I did finish it, where I would have landed on that, like if I would have seen the decline coming.
Right. Let's see. I did have some questions that we could start with if you want to.
Stunning.
Let's see. Well, we could start with this one. Who is your favorite character and why? I don't think Dana has money.
Okay, are we talking like overall series or HOFAS?
Well, we could go with the whole series.
Okay. Okay. I did just see Karina's comment, and I have to agree that is definitely one of my favorites. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so Lahaba is one of my favorites. I'm gonna give you just a few, okay? A few. Lahaba, just because, like, God, what a warrior! Like, just such a strong character, and I cried. I cried a lot, like when Lahaba went down.
Right.
Also,
I
the
did too.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sea otter that delivers the mail. I
So cute.
yeah, they're just so cute, and I I really love the sea otter emoji. It's just the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Aw.
But I really do like Rune. Like, I really, y'all know Rune Dannon. Love.
Ryun is my favorite.
Yeah.
First, last, and always with that.
Yeah,
series.
Rune is love him. And I really love Lydia. I really do really like
I
Lydia.
didn't like Lydia at first, but then I grew to like her in Flame and Shadow.
Well, yeah. I mean, definitely in the beginning it was like, oh God.
Right?
Like when you first meet her, but I grew to like Lydia. But I do you have a question about your least favorite character? Because I don't want
Yes.
to. Okay, I'll keep my mouth zipped.
That'll be the next one.
Okay.
I did that with Fourth Wing, not saying that it's not good, but it was my first fantasy and I gave it 5 during the hype. When I started hearing discussions, I was like, did I actually like that?
We're gonna have to talk, Sam. Okay, we're gonna have to talk because I'll die on the Fourth Week Hill being talked to you.
Bahaba, yes. Series and Hofast, Bahaba. I do love Rune though, but the way Ethan and Therion's characters arcs took a dive in book 3 is ridiculous. I have to agree with Therion and Ethan actually, because I actually kind of despise them in this book.
Oof, that's tough. That's tough.
I really liked them in the first 2.
Yeah.
And then like they made super bad decisions and they were not like caring about anybody else but themselves.
Yeah, I really
And
did
it
like
really
both of
bothered
them
me.
before too.
So that'll probably be my answer for least favorite.
Well, who's your most favorite?
Oh yeah. Rune,
Yeah, okay.
most likely.
Okay.
To the depths of hell. Dang. Well, maybe I agree. Searings for me. Oh, I did love Searings.
Oh
Searings is so
man,
cute,
Searings is great.
right?
Oh, how
At
cute.
least she protected him and left him on the island of was it Avalon?
Of Alan, yeah.
So at least she didn't like take it with her. That would have been sad. Because what if something happened to him? And Sam, what do you mean about Fourth Wing?
Honestly, because you're talking to some Fourth Wing stands right now.
Right? I love Fourth Wing. I give that 5 stars.
Same. Oh, even on the reread, 5 stars.
Right? Sorry, I'm having PTSD from this book.
Yeah.
Bryce's mom is a precious gem. Yes, I really did like Ember. At least somebody actually questioned her.
Yeah. Randall was top tier as well, I think. But
Right?
the husband, yeah.
And the stepdad. I did like the stepdad.
Yeah. Was it Randall Salago? I just felt like he had like such a dope last name.
I thought so too. I really liked that last name.
Yeah, stunning.
At least she came up with good names.
She did, yeah.
Girl, there was so much world and things to remember because I never read fantasy. I switched to the audio halfway because I just didn't have the brain power.
A reread question mark? Because I'll reread it with you.
Same. I will too. Sam, if you reread, do a breakdown of it and take it in slowly. Maybe that'll help.
I think that does with fantasy, especially like you Amanda, like you are fantasy coded. Like your brain is wired for fantasy. I am not blessed with that, and so it's like I do have to be, I think, really mindful of like the way I take in fantasy. I'm getting better because I'm reading more of it, but I think that's why I struggled the first time I read House of Earth and Blood. Like when I read the first one, I think that's why I struggled so much, was because it was a higher fantasy than I had been accustomed to at that point.
Mm.
and I was struggling. But then when I went to reread it, I was appreciating so many things about it that I just think like I've read more fantasy, and not that I am at your level, but like I've read
Right.
more. My brain, I think, is just like taking in the information differently. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like dystopian type stuff too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Like the Hunger Games and the Maze Runner and stuff like that.
Ugh,
I haven't read the Maze Runner in a while. I should
I've
have,
never read that.
because they had a book called The Maze Cutter that
Mm,
is a more recent book actually. That's like, I think it's like the prequel, or is it a sequel? I can't remember which. Might be a sequel actually.
how cool! How
It's on
cool!
my wish list on Amazon, so I do want to check out that new series because it's a lot newer and it's based in the same type world.
Mm,
So I definitely want to check it out at some point.
no.
I vote for a reread. Yes. But if you reread, can I join the group because I'm down? Yes, we could all do it together because I'm interested too. Because the graphic audio for Fourth Main is out,
How fun!
part one and two, thanks to
Wow.
Ray. So
Yeah.
I am down. Looks like I just started something. Let's do it. Yes, let's do it.
Yes.
How
Oh,
about we do it
well.
next month? Because I probably should use it. I could probably use it for Realmathon.
Mm. We'll have to figure out a good time because I'm trying to. I know like next month. I think me and Nikki are trying to take it a little lighter. But Nikki, if you
I
want to
mean,
do
it
it
is your
next month, if
birthday.
everybody wants to do it next month, I mean, I'll go with the flow on whenever you guys want to do it because
Or April. I'm pretty open.
I'm always down to reread that. So whenever you guys want to, count me in.
I did not enjoy the Maze Runner. I didn't continue with the series. Well,
I haven't read it.
I own all the movies. I love the movies.
Mm.
And oh yeah, and Divergent. That series is good too. But the books are better than the movies, I think. Both the dramatized versions are out, so I'm in. Awesome. We should definitely do it. Cute emojis.
Mhm.
I'll be hibernating next month, so maybe not then. LOL.
Yeah.
Well, we can always do it in April. April,
Settings.
I'm down. I'll do whatever the majority says. So
Stunning. We'll have to.
we're all
We'll
down
figure.
for April. We'll do it in April.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out for sure.
All right. I know Dana's waiting for this question, so let's do it. Who's your least favorite character and why?
You go first. You go first.
um. Hmm. Well, I guess it'll have to be Ethan and Theron.
They had a decline. I feel like it's such a valid response.
I mean, they're the top two reasons
Hmm.
why I wasn't crazy about most of the book was because of their stupid decisions. But I also wasn't crazy about Bryce's book either.
Yeah.
They should
Okay.
include Hunt.
Yeah. I have notes in my phone, so if I'm glancing down, it's just I have notes.
I remember you told me about this list. Let's go over the list,
A
shall we?
list. I got a list. List. Okay. Okay. Where does one start? Let's start at the beginning. I cannot stand. I cannot stand Danica. I don't like her. Like I tried to find like redeeming qualities about her, and I'm sure they are there. I'm blind to them, so I like no thank you and no thank you because I just feel like how can you say you are somebody's best friend? And she told Bryce nothing.
I
And
know, that's what bothered me too.
yeah, it was like nobody knew anything, yet she knew everything, but couldn't like clue anybody in or even like
Especially Hunt.
but I mean, Danica should have at least clued in her mate. Like, hello, Baxian? Like, I feel like Baxian deserved a little more, like, than that.
That's what I meant, Baxter, not Hunt.
Yeah, and I feel like Bryce deserved more, especially with like she forced Bryce to really be a part of it by putting the horn like in her back. It's like,
Without her knowing about it.
yeah, it's like she put that on Bryce without like, I'm not a Danica fan. Like I'm not. And
Right.
honestly, Bryce, God, not a fan of her either. Especially like book 3, really,
Yeah.
like is where I feel like she just really hit such a decline. And you said it, like she
Mhm.
was just so rude to Hunt, like rude to him.
Yeah.
so much, and I just think I can never get over the way she treated him once they reunited. Like, she was just like, "Well, I know he's been tortured, but it's like they like tortured. This wasn't just like he was locked in a room and given like gourmet meals and just couldn't talk on a phone. Like this man was
Right.
like, tortured." And I feel like she was just so blasé about that I can't. And I feel like she's a bootleg alien. I'm not gonna get into like other spoilers for another thing, but I just feel like she was
Yeah.
bootleg because I just feel like
I felt the same way a little
yeah, I
bit.
just feel like she was like, I have these plans, but honestly, she had no plans. Like her plans were to just like go and okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I gotta take a breath. How?
It's
Tell me
okay.
how
Calm down.
her mom and her stepdad, and then like their adopted son, right? How is it that she
Yeah.
left the boy on a Valen, and you thought your parents would ever be okay with leaving their son on an island and they're in another world? That's crazy to
Right.
me, especially because like Bryce is Randall's like, like adopted daughter. And so it's like, why would he not also care that much about, the boy? It's just like it it was no, no. And then it was like her plan, ugh, there's just so much. I just didn't enjoy her, if nobody could tell. Dorian and Ethan hit a steady decline. And
Hmm.
yeah, we'll leave it at that because I'm sure other things will pop up, you know.
Oh, I forgot to mention this in the last question, but I also really like Jessica
Oh man. Yeah,
and what she did for Bryce in the end.
yeah. Yeah, she was a nice little a nice character to have in there.
Mhm.
Really
Yeah,
helped
she
out a
was the
lot.
most interesting. I was really looking forward to hearing her story in this book, and I felt like there could have been a lot more that
Yeah.
if they could have done with her character. So I felt like she was just kind of there and didn't really, you know, help a
Yeah.
whole lot when she really could have, because she knows more than most of those people.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fury.
Yeah. Ugh.
Fury's a part of that house, isn't she? She should have. Like, I was waiting for her backstory, and we didn't get it.
I was waiting for a lot with this 835-page tome and didn't get it. Didn't get it at all.
Right? So I
Yeah.
wanted to know more about Fury because she did kind of remind me of another alien, so to speak.
Mm.
Karina also says Bryce, of course. Nikki says Pollux and Bryce.
Pollux was an egg.
Yeah, he was a major ick.
Mm.
I never liked Pollux from the beginning.
No, but he's written to not be liked, but he got so skeevy in that third book. I was could not.
Right?
Ugh.
Bryce did whatever she wanted without thought, especially in the caves. Hmm.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I agree. Same, Dana. I'm not sure which one you're referring to,
I
but I'm
think
sure
that's
there's something.
I think it was to Danica with like how she just kept so much information and then put everybody in really sticky situations and then was
Yeah,
just like, I mean, obviously she didn't intend to die, but she really
right,
put people in really tough situations and then that's that.
right. Yeah, I agree with April. Rom coms when it kind of wipe me out. Okay, April. April, we're doing a reread.
Yeah.
Got
I'm trying to get to the end on fumes.
it.
Little engine that could.
Theory and Ethan were so bad in this book. Ethan's storyline didn't make sense. I agree.
Not a lick.
1000%.
Yeah, not a lick of sense.
Like,
Yeah.
Prime? What? He can't even make like one decent decision. How can he be Prime?
Yeah.
That didn't make sense. I hated Ethan's storyline right off the jump. That irritated me so bad. Yep.
Very much.
Especially when he took Therian's place, trying to fight what's her name for the Viper Queen.
Mm-hmm.
That irritated me a lot. That he did.
Yeah.
Therian being matched to 3 different people in one book. Yeah, that was a little ridiculous.
Sickening. Absolutely sickening.
I will forever be mad about what she did with Therian's arc. Yeah. I don't even There's also a question, kind of what I'm going off with this possibly, but if there is another book, I bet it's going to be about him, if there is one. Don't know if there will be, but
Mhm.
I read something earlier today where Sarah J. Maas confirmed there will be a fourth one.
Oh wow. Okay.
So if there's a fourth one, I'm guessing he would probably be the main character. I mean, I'll read it just because it's Crescent City, not because I'm really interested in him. But I want Fury's backstory badly enough. I will check it out.
I mean, I'll read it because it's SJM, but I'm not gonna enjoy the fact that I got to pick it up.
Right? I was waiting for Fury's story too. Yeah. Like I wanted to know more about her more than anybody. Her and Jessica were my top two I wanted to know more
Mm,
about. I like besides Rune, I already love Rune regardless. But
yeah.
all the other characters, they can step aside. Let's put them in the center.
Funny.
Even the crossover characters didn't seem like themselves. Yeah,
Very
like
much.
why? I was wondering why Resan didn't show up more when he could have. Like, why
No,
use Nesta and Azrael? I mean, I get the Nesta part, but yeah,
yeah.
can we have more Resan, please?
Yeah. That was such a letdown. I think the way that she had, so everybody was excited, and I understand though that like the anticipation was so high that I mean it's going to be difficult to ever I think fulfill everybody's like hopes on it, but they
Mhm.
really didn't feel like themselves. Like they like Az and Nesta just felt like shells of themselves. I don't know. It just felt off. I would have very, very, very much preferred they never stepped into that world.
Right.
Like ever. It did not do what I was hoping for it to do.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Easter eggs for like the Throne of Glass as well in that world, and that's my favorite series. So if there is another one, I'm wondering if maybe they'll show like more of that world.
Oh, I hope not. Please don't ruin Throne of Glass, SJM. Please.
Well, because she's throwing in all like both worlds in at
Yeah.
once with the Akatar crossover, it's
Yeah.
possible that because she made it seem like there's a whole bunch of worlds in this universe that it could be possible.
I am
But
team
I
never
don't know if
let
that's a good
any of
idea
them.
though, at the same time.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yes, it was for Danica. I'm not sure which one you were talking about at the time, but
When she said same Dana, and we said I think it was
gotcha. There wouldn't be much plot if Danica didn't keep all these secrets. That is true.
true, but maybe
Plot
she
is
could
all
have
based off of Danica.
yeah, maybe she could have just wrote a different plot.
Right? Maybe instead of like do some Danica and then throw in some other stuff that came from
Yeah.
somebody else and not just all on Danica.
Yeah, I think I would have appreciated that more. Like if she was gonna do that whole secrets with Danica thing, I think
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed it because it kind of felt like the same thing over and over. It was like, oh no, something happened, Danica knew, but she didn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, something happened, Danica knew, she didn't tell. And it just felt like it was like the same thing over and
Like
over.
in the second book, I kind of wanted to see more of Sophie.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
I instead of the little bit that we did get, because I'm sure Sophie has an interesting story to tell.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So if she ever did a prequel based off of Sophie, I would read that because
Yeah.
that would sound more fun. I think because she was a very interesting character, and I wish we had more of her.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I didn't like this book, like anything she puts out, I'm gonna read. So hey,
Right? She
I'm
better not.
cash for mass, as they say.
Yeah. Karina says she better not touch Throne of Glass.
Better not. Don't do it. I just will be so upset.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens in the fourth book because she did confirm, so we'll see. I would throw hands if she ruins that series for me.
Absolutely.
Is Sophie even alive still? She is not because they did find her body.
Mm.
So I was a little bit bummed about that. I was hoping that it would be able to bring her back to life
Mm-hmm.
because Hypaxia is a necromancer. So I was hoping somehow, some way she could, but because it's been so long since Sophie passed in the second book, I doubt that can happen now.
Mm.
So most likely she will probably never be resurrected at this point. Yeah, because no one else dies. Yeah. In this world.
For real.
I expected so many people to die at the last battle. I'm like, why is
I
there
was
no
hoping to be heartbroken, like, but yikes.
right? And well, I was gonna do this question, but I don't know if we'll have many of these.
Yeah. Mm.
Not many favorite parts.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
the story I was most interested in out of all of them potentially was um, Jessica, if there was for that little bit that we did get, and
mhm.
the other one for me was
Yeah, I do have my favorite part, but it's one.
well, technically my most favorite part of the whole thing really was what Jessica did for Bryce in the end.
That was very heartwarming for
Yeah,
sure.
I did tear up a little bit, even though I wasn't crazy about Bryce in general. But at least what Jessica did was really nice. Yeah, the ending.
Um, yeah, my favorite, okay, was Lydia, and when she took her the little antidote and got into her full power. And I just loved that it was that she came from the Throne of Glass world and that
Mm,
like she's descendants from them and she has the elemental magic and she's a shifter and that like I just loved like when it talked about her son's name Bran I was like wow that's crazy that's so close to King Brandon and then when it
mm.
said like confirmed like oh yeah I named him because of a long descendant in the past or whatever King Brandon and I was screaming. That was my favorite part. I think was just that like my favorite character from this book or one of my
Mm.
favorite characters from this book had a tie to like had a tie to like my favorite like Throne of Glass. I just love that. I just loved that, and I feel like it wasn't like harped on because it's not like people in that world know that like
Mhm.
so it wasn't like it was just kind of just like her just being like oh yeah like my ancestry, and I was just like yes, and the fact that she has like the blonde hair and
Mhm.
just oh that was the best part. That was the best part.
The Jessica thing made me tear up for sure. Yep. Too bad, she probably we won't be seeing her anymore if there is another book. Dan, I don't even remember that part of it.
It really happened so fast. It wasn't I feel like it wasn't you know, like really honed in on just because, this is a completely different world that nobody there knows the significance of it. It was just like
Mhm.
that one little paragraph and I was screaming. That was the part I was looking for.
Right. And I agree with this statement. Rune's hand getting chewed out sent me to the grave. Like, what the hell? I'm like, why are you even doing that? Then it ends up it wasn't even needed. Like, what the hell?
That was too much.
Right? I'm like, what was even the point?
Oh
If
man.
you had a whole other plan in mind, like
Yeah.
seriously, why was that even needed? It was the most disgusting thing in the book, I think.
You want to know what's so crazy? Is the day that I read that part of that book, I had just read a different book that had a severed hand in it. And so I was a
Oh
little
god.
desensitized, I think, when I got to that one because it was two severed hands back to back. And I just never thought that would be something that would happen in my reading life. But hey, you
Right.
know.
That was the most useless thing in the entire book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not long before we started this live. I was literally reading Nikki's review on Goodreads,
Uh-huh.
and I saw her mention this. And then one other thing that every time I read Nikki's review on this book, every time that makes me laugh the most from her review is what she says about Hunt and the whole underwear situation.
Oh,
That cracked me up so much when I read Nikki's review when she
yeah.
said that. I'm like, that was like the funniest review I've ever read from Nikki or anybody really.
Stunning.
Like, that was too funny. I had to bring it up because it was traumatizing. Yes,
You're
it very
fucking
much was.
traumatized.
And I'm like, what the heck? Oh, I mean, I'm not the suffering hand.
Nikki knows just because Nikki also read the same book that I was talking about. And so just two severed hands, Hey. Whew.
Literally the dumbest part of the book.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Ha ha ha, not my review, it was just thoughts. I happen to agree with your thought, even though it was the most hilarious thought I have ever read. No underwear big enough for a hunt, please.
I rolled so hard when like that was said in the book. I was like, are what no. No. I just know. That was
Right?
yeah. I'm gonna have to go and read the review like right now as soon as we get off because I because that was like big eye roll for me.
Which leads into this question, and I'm sure you got many.
You know,
I would not be surprised.
yeah. I'm let's save that one for the end or something because I got a list.
Okay, you can do
Okay.
that. Here's a good one. Which character or moment prompted the strongest emotional reaction for you, and why? If there's a reason.
I don't know. I feel like I'm a little foggy now on where I was emotional because I did have a couple times where like I teared up. I think Lydia with her sons, like
Yeah.
it's like that, and just Lydia living in torment with Pollux, like I think was a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I'm trying to. I'm trying to think where I had an emotional reaction. I did not have a signature SJM cry in this book because normally I am a sobbing mess when
Right.
I'm reading things like this, and especially when you get to like the epic battles, like when you get to the book
Mhm.
that has the epic battle and like the conclusion, like that. KOA had me embarrassingly snotty,
Right.
and this one just did
I
not.
was emotional during KOA.
I was KOA was too much.
Right.
Yeah, so I can't, unfortunately I can't pull from my brain other than the stuff with Lydia,
Mm.
like with her kids. And I also think too it got me, I think, when Rune was like pulling back from her and kind of like, you know, she'd started to finally like open up and think that she was worth more because I think she was just so hard on herself. And
Mm.
then I feel like Rune, um, you know, when he was hurt because of finding out things, and he has every reason to be upset because what a shock it was to find out who she was and not
Mm.
completely understand the sacrifices she had made up until that point, you know. And when he did understand, he got, you know, he was like, all right, we're moving past it. And so hats off to him for that. But I
Mm.
think just like the idea of somebody living in torment for so long and like giving up the children that she wanted, but just not thinking that she could protect them and be who they needed her to be. I think just so much of her story made me probably have like the most emotion throughout the whole thing. It's probably
Mm. I think for me it was the just above moment at the
yeah.
end. That's probably like my strongest emotional reaction, probably.
That was, I mean, that was a beautiful moment for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Um, there we go. Karina said this before.
Yeah, that so much of this book was throw up city. From
Nikki says the entire book.
I'm with you. I yeah.
Yeah, we're probably all emotional, and the fact that it was not very good.
Yeah.
Yep, Karina says Jessica. I love Jessica. I didn't think Bryce deserved that moment, to be honest.
I 100% agree with that. I would have much preferred Bryce be dead, and Jessica be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, also because like Bryce didn't even care to, I feel like, have the power that she had, and to really, I don't know, want to see more come from that.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
think she's a little bit power hungry, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, she didn't really want to be ruler, but she didn't want anybody else to be either.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that was kind of weird too. Dana on the last question. I got a list. Here's the order of my list. Here we go. I got emo when I thought Hunt was going to sacrifice himself for Bryce, but alas, no death, so I was over it quickly.
Yeah, that I can see that. Like when Nikki had told me that and I started to think about it, I was like, wow, that didn't even float through my brain. But when she said it, I was like, oh my God. I was like, that I would have hated that because I'd have been like, oh, he should have yeeted Bryce into the seventh dimension.
That's funny. I thought the same thing though, Nikki. I thought he was going to sacrifice himself, and then neither one of them come back. And then it turns out, oh, they have these superpowers that allows them to come back from the black hole. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So sorry. I was just adding something to my list.
You make the list ever longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of did that. How about this? Which character would you most like to meet in real life?
The Otter and Lahaba and Syrinx, I think.
Yeah.
I guess Rune and Lydia, but I really want the Otter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on just a minute, Korean, because I have a question that could work for. So let me go get that. Then we could go back to that. This could work for this, I think. Were there any plot twists that you loved or hated? And I'm sure there's plenty. Now we could go. Wrong one. We need to talk about Bryce sacrificing her parents without giving them any advance warning to trade for the mask.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a plot twist right there, which I was like, huh? How does that help in any way? Why couldn't you just leave them in a Valen with, I don't know, their son, adopted son?
Right.
Does that make the most sense? Like, why put them in a whole other world where you don't even know if you're gonna be able to get back to them or not? When you could have just left them in the Valen where they were fine.
Yeah. Not wrong. You're not wrong.
I didn't understand that at all. I mean, of course, she wanted leverage over for Nesta, or was it leverage or something else? I'm thinking another word I'm thinking of. But she was trying to get the mask from Nesta, so I figured her one way of getting the mask was trying to give him her parents. But
yeah, like her collateral
for something else. Collateral. That was what I was trying to think of. Why couldn't you give them something else? Why does it have to be your parents? Like what if something happened to them? You don't know.
Yeah.
Like that was like the worst. Like I would never do that to my own parents.
No, I mean, just no.
Yeah, that was just wrong on so many levels. Syrinx, I'd keep him. So would I. I like to be Rune's fourth thing. He knew with absolute certainty.
100%. 100%.
Mm-hmm. But also the otter for sure. The otter is so cute. I love otters.
So cute. I love the otter from book 1. I was like, oh my God.
Especially they're like little messenger carriers. The way they just hop into the water.
Yeah, so cutie.
Oh, I did get emo when Nessa and Bryce's mom had a moment and then they hugged.
Yeah, that was a nice moment for Nesta, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm also not the biggest Nesta fan, so.
Well, I was a huge Nesta fan in Silver Flames. I wasn't much of a fan of her in the beginning of the ACOTAR series, but once I got some more background on her in Silver Flames, I understood her a lot more and felt for her, so that's when I started liking her.
Yeah. I'm hopeful that I become like a huge Nesta fan, but I just need to see a little more. Like a little more happen in ACOTAR, I think, before I can fully be a Nesta stan.
And another plot twist that bothered me to no end. It took me a little bit to figure this out, and then I really started thinking. But in the towards the beginning, when they had that crossover, and then they found out the history of the how what the Akatar world really is and what
Mhm.
their world really is. It was just a whole bunch of info dump and all
Yeah,
like dialogue.
yeah,
Like it took me a little while to figure out that was just a big info dump, and I'm like, does it really have to be
yeah.
like that? Couldn't you show us in a better way? Like it didn't really seem like it came across very smooth, and it was just weird for me a little bit.
No, I think you're 100% right. It was very info dumpy, and it was just like, I don't know. It just, yeah, I don't know. Didn't work.
And the fact that like Bryce was trying to trick Nesta and Azrael, and then running back to them, you know, when
Yeah,
she realized, oh, something's wrong, and then turns out, oh, the joke's on her.
yeah, yeah.
That
Um, okay.
was so weird.
Would you like me to go through my list? I feel like this is where it would be the perfect place
Sure,
for it.
let's do it. Let's do
Okay.
it. But
It's just like just a list. The first thing I have, and this goes like it bing bang booms like between beginning, middle, end. I think it just was wherever was things were falling out of my head.
right.
The first one says the point of the crossover question mark, because it was pointless. It was pointless. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the mask working easily and being able to be taken off. We know from Akatar and even from CC3, right, that Nesta,
Mm-hmm.
it like adheres to Nesta's soul, right? Like in CC3, Az had to like talk Nesta back like
Mm-hmm.
into herself because the mask wants to take over what it inhabits, because she is made and they're made from the same thing. And so is Bryce. Like Bryce, they kept saying over and over again, like Bryce is made, Bryce is made. How?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how she could put the mask on and then just so easily yank that mask off. Like she uses it and she's like, arise, fallen legion, and then just boop, like takes it off like it's nothing. And then because Hunt has some of her maidness in him, which ew, but he can also then just easily willy-nilly put this mask on and off. The mask of death, you tell me? And
Right.
and, and like Nesta, who is like from the cauldron, who made all of this, and all these other worlds are coming from it. You're telling me that you have more control over this mask than Nesta? That's a little crazy. Um, I already said this one. Danica is the worst. I don't think anybody can
Right.
change my mind on that.
He's not a friend at
Yeah.
all.
Um, then my next point says Az and Nesta weren't Az and Nesta, and we kind of already said that, like they just didn't
Yeah.
feel like them. Like I okay, they when they're in the tunnel, like when they're underground, when they were in like Akatar's world,
Mm-hmm.
and like you're telling me you have the Shadow Singer, like you're in the dark and the shadows talk to him, the shadows tell him everything, and you're telling me Bryce outsmarted Az and Nesta? Nesta is cunning. Like, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, Bryce, really, sis? Like,
He can't be
no.
that much
No.
smarter.
Yeah, and I just feel like it made Az like look low-key like weak. And I'm a Az stan. And I didn't like that. He Bryce was low-key a bully. We kind of talked about how she, was like out there doing Hunt really dirty.
Yeah.
Um Bryce is trying to be Aelin, but like she's not good at it. This is literally just how my brain dumped it. Um, Someone else should have died. Looking at you, Bryce. Um, what was the point of Sigrid? Like Ethan
Yeah.
killed her just to kill her, just to her to turn into whatever that thing is called.
The Reaper.
Yeah, basically a Dementor, like a Dementor, like that's basically what it
Yeah.
was, and a Reaper, and then you wanted to get these wolves to be like, that's fine, a Reaper can lead us. Really, Ethan? Really? And then like what was the point? Like what was the point? And then I also just I don't know, I just don't get it. And then Fury is an assassin. Like they always hyped Fury up as being like this like
Mercenary.
mercenary. Like she's like, oh, like they always made it seem like Fury Axstar is not who you want to mess with. And
Right.
like you say it all the time, you don't want to be on Fury's bad side. Why? Why would you leave a mercenary who can handle business? Why would you leave her on a Valen? Like, why are we not taking her with you? Like, why
Right?
is her only job to fly the helicopter and then stay on a Valen? I need someone to make that make sense, but also I will say that I don't even care if it makes sense because I refuse to believe. Um, why was Baxian in all caps? It says in all caps. Why was Baxian left out? Um, he's a hellhound, and
Exactly.
like he went through all that torture, and they made it feel like SJM made it feel like he was gonna be such a big part of this. And then you left him on a Valen. He's a hellhound. I feel like he could have rode with the armies of hell and maybe done a little thing or a little couple things. You know, he could have really,
Right.
I don't know, maybe avenged his mate's death. Um, Hypaxia literally blinked and an antidote was made. Because like they needed this antidote so bad, and it was like, Hypaxia, you have to do this. And then it was like the next chapter, it was like, I've done it. And I was like, what? Like, really? That was crazy. And then they kept saying, SJM kept saying about how Ethan could tell Perry, the other wolf, Perry's scent was different because she didn't drink the antidote, and it said it like multiple times, but then literally nothing came about from that. Like not a single thing came about from that. And then also, what was the point of Ariadne? What was the point of that dragon?
I was hoping we get her backstory too. That was another character I was interested in.
Same friend.
How did she get to where she was?
Yeah.
I was
And
curious. I wanted to know.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I need answers on that. How exactly did Hypaxia fall out with the witches, and why did that happen just so, like perfectly, like timing wise, that was just so perfect, right? She fell out with the witches, and I mean, obviously, like they needed her to. I mean, grand scheme, because they needed her to be the head of the House of Flame and Shadow, so that their souls wouldn't be taken for the second light or whatever. But it was just way too perfect, and that leads me to the next one. Everything, like you said, was just info dumped. Like everything was told perfect and everything just happened way too easy.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like signature SJM, you know? And
And then
then, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna mention the quick POV changes. That annoyed me to no heaven. Like
That,
seriously, what is with all these quick POV changes? Why can't you just stick to one for a little bit and then go to the next one in like a whole other chapter or something?
come on, friend, you better tell her because what? It just made no sense. And
Right?
then Bryce lied and stole. And then Nesta, Nesta's the queen of keeping a grudge. Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Nesta is a queen at that. And
Right.
so Bryce lied and stole from her, and then Nesta just handed over the mask. No.
That's a big plot hole.
Girl, this plot had more holes than Swiss cheese. Like I said, why would you leave Cooper? That makes zero sense. Because it just feels like she should have like sent Cooper with them. Because she even said it like they'll never forgive her if they get stuck over there and Cooper's not with them. So it's like, why wouldn't you just take your little brother and let them be a family over there in case something goes terribly wrong and they don't get to come back? Like,
Right.
that's crazy. And then, like, you left Baxian and you left Juniper. Well, I mean, leave Juniper because Juniper can't fight nothing. But you left Baxian and you left Fury on a Valen. A Valen could have guarded itself. It literally has been doing it for 15,000 years. Like, the
Right.
Mist have been doing it for 15,000 years, sis. Why did you have to leave the top mercenary and a Hellhound on a Valen when a Valen's been doing its thug dizzle for 15,000 years? It's the
Right.
only safe place, literally the only safe place. And then my last point is Bryce not wanting to actually like help people and like leave them with no infrastructure. I found it like just so icky. And I feel like, we all know like SJM writes like really, really strong women. Like,
Yeah.
she does that so well. And then we're at the end, and all we know is Hunt can't wear underwear. And Bryce was too worried about making sure she had on a pink dress that Hunt really likes to go sign away all of the like structure and government that Lunathian had. Like,
I almost forgot about that scene until you just mentioned it.
it struck me is so odd because they mentioned how like um uh how like they're gonna struggle with like their power grid and all these things because they don't have anything in place. And I just feel like, we see in Akatar that like when you have a fair ruler like Reese, like structure and government or rulers can work. It just depends on the ruler that you have in place. And so it's like, to just leave these people with nothing and then being like, I don't want to lead the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then it's like I also didn't like how Rune had to be made so small to like let her shine so bright. And it's like they're both starborn. Like they both could have been, or at least like she could have like reached out to Rune to be like, Rune, how do we help govern these people? Because now you're just leaving them with no type of leadership, and then their power grid's gonna fail, and then all hell will break loose then.
Right.
You know, but friend, that was my list that you've been wanting. Amanda's been wanting me to send her this list for a hot minute, but I told her, it's like, we gotta wait. We have to wait.
Because when they said she had a whole list, I'm like, I need to hear this list.
That is the list.
Still not a Nesta fan, so that scene did nothing to my cold heart.
Same.
Wow.
Thank
Theria being a druggie? Like, why? The crossover in general.
That should have been in the list. That should have been in the list. Why was Therian a druggie?
I was wondering the same thing. Like, what was the point of that?
No, honestly, because like he was a druggie, but then he was all of a sudden also not a druggie. Like it was like,
how do you get off of it so fast? Like, that doesn't come out of your system that fast.
You know,
that was just weird.
Yeah,
I agree. The crossover was pointless. Also, when did they get married? That's a good question. Because there was never an actual wedding.
Oh my god, are you guys talking about Hunt and Bryce?
Yes.
I was okay, y'all. I thought I was stupid because it got said so many times. I was like, God, I missed that.
Yeah, like when did they get married? Like they said they were, but at no point did they actually show that there was a wedding. So I'm like, where's the wedding? Like, huh? When did this happen? I mean, it could have happened during all that action.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm with you, friend, because when?
Rapid fire bullet points, LOL. Yeah, when did they get married? Because it was brought up every 5 seconds. You never mentioned the wedding or anything. Like, yeah, that was weird.
It was odd for sure.
I think most of the book was pretty odd, to be honest. Like things are brought up, but then never actually we don't see stuff that should have happened that didn't happen, and then there's all these things that they say that they were married and stuff like that, and it's like, huh? When did that happen? I didn't remember that.
What's one thing that you wish you did get to see?
Well, I really wanted Fury's backstory more than anything. And I mean, I know we got a little bit of Jessica's, but I wish we got more in depth of her story, not just a little bit that we did get.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure she has a story to tell.
Yeah.
If it has a prequel on just Jessica, I would read that in a heartbeat. Also. Yeah. Like if Jessica and Sophie were to each have their own prequels, I'm down. Because they were really interesting characters.
I agree with you. I think Jessica gave me, tell me if you thought this too, but Jessica gave me a little bit of Amryn vibes of just having such a crazy history, that everybody's really unsure about.
Right.
So.
Mm-hmm. Hey Ray, I see him in the back. LOL. I'm not sure where he went.
I saw, he walked past, just a brief little cameo.
Yep, brief cameos. Too bad Ray can't be cameos and couldn't have a cameo in Flame and Shadow, right? That would be hilarious.
Is Ray there? Can he hear? I'd have given it 5 stars if Ray had a cameo. 5 stars.
When he comes out, I will pull him in. Hi, Amanda. Jordan and I are here, excited to watch. Yep, that's my sister and her boyfriend.
Oh my god!
I knew they'd drop it at some point.
That's so stunning.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Jordan. I know a lot. I seem to know a lot of Jordans lately. At least 4 that I know of.
Wow.
Including my sister.
Wow.
See, I wanted Fury too. I think she reminds me of Amryn, and I wanted to see her backstory and find out who and what she really is. Oh, yeah, because she does kind of remind me of Amryn a little bit. You know what? There's supposed to be a new ACOTAR book. I would love to see like what Amren's story is really about. Like I know we get a little bit, but she talks a little bit about it. But
Yeah.
if we get a book just like based off of her whole backstory, that would be amazing.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is like Nikki says Fury reminds her of Amren, and I was like, Jessica reminds me of Amren. Wow.
I think they both do.
I think it's because of that pull of such a wild backstory, or what we think would be such a wild like backstory, because I agree with you, Amanda. I think like there's story to tell, like
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, I'm sure Fury's got a lot to share with the world, I'm sure. I mean, if she focused more on these characters and not so much on on all the other people that aren't really necessary, it might have been a better book.
That's that definitely could be true for sure.
Yeah. The way that Fury is from the House of Flame and Shadows and was on page once is wild to me.
I thought that was weird too. Did that
I
strike you
thought so too.
I think too it's like, and I wonder, okay, like the way that you wanted more from Fury, I wonder if it was like subconsciously you were thinking you were going to get that for sure because of Fury being brought up on like page 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought she was going to be a bigger role in this book.
Right. Speaking of Fury,
yes.
It took me some time to figure out who this is on the cover. I think this could be Fury.
Really?
Potentially.
I wonder.
Because I was thinking of adding a question about who's on this cover. I wanted to bring it up at some point because we don't really know for sure. Some people say Ariadne, but she's not in the book that much. And I don't think it's Jessica because, I mean, I know she could talk to, like, the way she could talk to books and control them. I don't think she's I don't think she's really an animal person.
Any chance it could be Hypaxia now that she's the head of Flame and Shadow?
That could be a possibility. Could be Hypaxia. I mean, she does kind of give off that witchy vibe a little bit.
Yeah, especially when I see the fingers, I think of a certain other.
Yeah, it could be Hypaxia. I mean, we did find out a little bit more about Hypaxia in the book.
Okay, here's my I never thought about this once, so shout out to Amanda for making my brain work right now. Okay, hear me out on why maybe it's Hypaxia, okay? Because Hypaxia is Lydia's sister, right? And we know Lydia has lineage to Throne of Glass, right? And so it would stand to reason that then Hypaxia, would have lineage to Throne of Glass. And do we see the fingernails? Does it make you think of any other witch?
Oh, no, that makes sense. How did I not see that?
I don't know. Just a thought. I have no clue.
I did not even think of that until you just mentioned it.
I didn't either until you made me think. Forced my brain to work a little bit.
Right? I can see similarities in both Jessica and Fury with Amren.
Yeah.
Nikki learned who the covers are. She thinks is first book is Luna, second one is Thur, and this one is Erd.
That makes a lot of sense.
Because they're the different gods.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Huh. The gods of this world. Yeah, that would make sense.
Nikki, you're a genius. Throw out what I said about Hypaxia.
Right.
Embarrassed.
Karina says, "Hey Ray, I saw him that time. LOL." Huh? And Ray is back in the room.
Oh, Ray. Hey, so Amanda was like, because we were just like, oh yeah, Ray made a little cameo in the background. Amanda goes, imagine if Ray had a cameo in CC3. And I said, I would have given it 5 stars for you, friend.
Honestly, they should have a character like Ray in this.
Yes. I agree. I'll read it.
Because he's very wise. He's very logical. Like he stays calm under any situation.
Yes.
I bet she could write him in somehow, some way.
All right, Ray. I'm writing a letter to Sam to put you in the book. The next one.
Let's see. Do we have any good questions, or is there anything that we've already went through? We all decided that we weren't crazy about the ending, so we could skip that. How the characters changed. Nobody really cares about that anymore.
Oh man, that's funny.
We already have a hard enough time thinking of songs for the romance book club, so we'll skip that.
Wait, what?
Oh, I already know the answer for you guys. You'll probably forget about it entirely.
I feel like the only way I'll remember it is if it's in hatred. I don't know if I'll be able to remember it fondly. Do you think you will? Do you think it's one that'll stick with you?
And the fact that I wasn't crazy about it, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this, Nikki. She said I would have had Ray lead me over Bryce.
I agree.
Ray would be a much better ruler.
Ray would be so, like you said, calm under pressure and would actually think through things and actually talk to people. You know?
Plus, he's also very, what's the word, impartial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's good at like seeing all sides and not like, saying that it has to be this way. Like he could see things from like multiple perspectives.
Ray forces you to expand your thinking on situations, I think.
Sometimes I feel like I've turned into him because like my thinking and acting has changed dramatically since we've been together. So I feel like I'm more like him now than I used to be.
Oh, you guys are so cute. I can't. Just single as a Pringle over here, you know?
Hey, it'll happen. I know it.
God.
You just gotta give it time. It usually happens when you least expect it. So
that's what they say. It hasn't happened, but that's what they say.
I'm not surprised. Karina says I forget it as soon as I close the book. Oh, I forgot. It'll stick with me in all the negative ways. The hate is still simmering. I can still remember some, but most of it has exited my brain.
Yeah. It's just so much fun though to rant about it. You guys are cuties, for real, for real.
Aw. Couples do become the same over time. Yeah.
Imagine being with them IRL. The cuteness is an overload. I literally third wheel with Ray and Amanda. Bars and I'm the third wheel. Oh man.
Well, here's a good question. Thanks, Mike. If you could live in the shoes of any character in the book, who would you be and why? This will be a hard one for Dana.
Do you have an
answer? Maybe Lydia. Because she was able to play both sides of the coin very well. And I'm also very good at acting myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I could probably fill her shoes pretty well and be able to play both sides of the coin like she does. And she would do anything for her kids. Literally anything.
Wow, that was
something that I really appreciate. Because you don't see like mothers these days not. I mean, I know there's mothers out there that are great with their kids, but there's also mothers that don't. And I just like it makes me feel bad for those people. Like I wish, it's a hard situation for those people.
For sure.
I can't imagine what it's like to not have parents that would do anything for you. So I definitely feel like I could probably fit into Lydia's shoes pretty well.
Now I'm emo. I do think it was really like smart how you pointed out that Lydia had to be a great actress in like playing both sides, because she really held on to that for like years, like being able to to wholly convince people of of situations. So I think, with your like acting experience, that would definitely help.
Mhm.
I I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I could um well, either either um the little whoever was with Rune when he knew three things in the beginning of book two, or uh, or because I love Rune, maybe I would also have to copy you and Lydia. Maybe.
'Cause, yeah, if we were Lydia, we could have Rune easily in our grasp.
I should have put on my Rune sweater. I should have.
Next time we do another, if there's another book and coming up in this series, we will do another live show talking about him, and you can wear your shirt.
Perfect.
I might have to get one too. So,
Yes, I'll send you the link. They restocked.
ooh, I want one.
Yeah, I'll send you
This
the link.
weekend, I'm getting it.
I will. Oh, perfect. Okay, I'll make sure to send it to you.
Awesome. The most stunning third wheel I've ever seen.
No
Aw.
pressure on put on that link there, Dana.
Thank you.
I don't think she heard you.
I don't think she heard either.
Say that
Oh, wow.
again.
I said no pressure on sending that link or nothing.
Oh yeah, no, I will. I got you. I got you.
You know, because Amanda's like she wants it by the weekend.
Oh, I want to get it, like the
Order
shirt
it. Yeah,
over the weekend.
No, I know that's my. Never mind.
but thank you, Karina.
Mm.
Oh,
The male otter, because I love the water and he's cute. He didn't strive to be that cute.
you are that
Nikki,
cute.
you
You're
are
cute.
that cute. You don't even have to strive. You are.
Exactly.
And we love you, and because we do anything for you, of course. Plus, you get
Mm.
done with RDTCPOTV.
Ruined it. Crown Prince of the Valbaran Fate. That audio is stuck in my head forever. Ever.
Well, Mike, you just found out the answer.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. My sweater's right here. Let me just show you because it says it on there.
It's mostly about Rune, Mike. So,
Yeah.
he's a character in this book. So it's not
like
how to do
Rune
anything.
and Crown Prince, and then it says Valbaran Fae. So
Love
Rune,
it.
Crown Prince of the Valbaran Fae, and then I just hear that. Da, 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 da. Have you heard that sound on like TikTok?
I don't think I don't really use TikTok really.
Okay.
I mean, I have it, I just don't use it.
I'll send you the link for the sweater, and I'll send you the TikTok so you can hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Perfect.
Aw, stop it. Well, you are cute, and we love you. So,
Cutie.
let me make sure we don't have anything that we haven't talked about, because we've talked about a lot. Ooh, this is one of the ones I wanted to do that we didn't get a chance to do yet. Which places in the book would you most like to visit? I already know mine.
What is it?
I really, really would love to visit the underwater city.
Yes, that's. I was thinking something with the water because that is just such a cool idea,
right?
Of like having just like this whole underwater world. The River Queen or the Ocean Queen, something with the water for sure. I think it would also be cool to go to a Valley and just like go through the mist. But
right. Do you think this book was worth the wait? Probably not as much as we wanted it to be.
Yeah, no. Not at all. I think it was just I think there was a lot writing on it. And so for that, I feel like I'm trying to like tell myself like she had a lot of pressure on her shoulders, but this was also self-imposed like pressure. Like, she's the one that did this. She could have.
He gave us 2 years, so we thought it was going to be outstanding, right? Because she gave it 2 years.
Yeah, it just didn't hit. It just didn't hit the way that I was hoping for it to.
So I have 2 more questions. So I don't personally have any myself, but I'm sure you probably do.
Any
quotes?
I off the top of my head, I do not.
I know you usually do quotes for most of
I
the.
Yeah, I can. If you give me a minute, I can try to run through like if I
Yeah,
had
sure.
any
I can run
Kindle.
through comments while you're doing that.
Okay, perfect.
Same, Amanda. That was my answer too. That would be awesome. Valeris, of course.
Oh,
Of
absolutely.
course, Valeris.
You're right. I'm wrong. You're right. Yes, Valeris. 100%.
I would have liked to have waited more if she'd done it right. Makes sense. She built up the expectations based on how book 2 ended. She only has herself to blame. Well, true.
I also very much agree with that. I'm trying to see because I only have one highlight in my phone for the Kindle, but I thought I highlighted more. But sometimes mine doesn't like transfer from my phone to my actual Kindle. So one moment. Okay.
It's all good. And anybody else in the comments have anything they want to ask?
So
Or
I actually only have one highlight. I've got one highlight, and it says they were fae like us, but not. The ears, the grace, the strength were identical, but they were shapeshifters, all of them, each capable of turning into an animal, and each, even in their humanoid body, equipped with elongated canine teeth. I guess that was the only highlight because it talked about throwing a glass. So that's my only highlight that I had. I'm so sorry. Usually I do have quotes. So
I know
sorry.
that's why I put that question in there, thinking you might have some because you always have so many.
I feel like I let you down, friend. I feel like I let you down on that.
It's okay. Hopefully, the next book that we do will be a lot easier.
The next time I'll have quotes. I promise.
Yeah, especially on Wednesday, I want to know your thoughts on 20 Years Later, because I will hype that up once we're done here.
I read that with you.
I even got ready to read 20 Years Later.
Oh God, Ray, thank you. And Amanda, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can't wait for the show.
I can't wait to read
Never Lie?
Yes.
Yep, I already have a physical copy.
And I have it too.
Yeah.
Well, the audio.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I can't wait for that one too.
So here's the last question that I thought, we could, it wasn't based on anything we already talked about. If you could ask Sarah Dream as one question, what would you ask her?
Why?
I was thinking, why did you do it this way?
I would just say, like, why? Okay, actually, my real question would be, are you okay? Because I keep saying that Hofast really might be a cry for help. Like, maybe she's been abducted or something, because, like, this is not the level of storytelling. And like, I say that because, like, you think about between us, like me and Amanda here, and then Nikki and Karina, like, we have read, hold on. There's 5 ACOTAR books, 8 Throne of Glass books. So that puts us at 13. And then this was number 16. Okay. We've read 16 books from her. And I feel like at this point, like, we are very well acquainted, I think, with like her storytelling and like the level of storytelling that she can give and her characters and how like they always end up better than when you first found them. And I just feel like this was not her signature writing. And so I just feel like, are you okay? Like, is something going on? Do you need to talk? Like, I'm here. My ears open. My
therapy.
Yeah.
We could bill you this time.
Like, and I just
feel like, her.
Yeah. Oh my God, Amanda. Okay, you know what went through my head?
Yeah.
And I feel like you'll get this because you are a huge America's Next Top Model fan.
Yes.
And I feel like Tyra, remember when Tyra was like, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
That was for, what was her name? Tiffany?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. But I just, like, that's how I felt, like, reading this was, like, we were rooting for you, SJM. Like, we were all rooting for you.
Right?
I mean, I say that in saying I will.
It could have been so much better.
Yeah. Still a big fan, and I'll still continue to read from her, but This one was just like, why?
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you ask?
Hmm. Well, I don't know if it has anything to do with her current series
Mm-hmm.
that she has going on. More like I want to know more about what the new series she has coming up, because out of all she has a whole bunch of books that she's going to be like putting out in the next 7 years or something like that. I mean, there's 7 books. I mean, in the next few years or so that she's doing it. So I'm more curious to see what kind of new series she's going to start with, because one of the books that she's planning on writing is a whole new series. So I'm curious of what that's going to be about, and if that has anything to do with previous series. And I would, if they are part of previous series, I would probably ask her, please don't bring past series into this one if it's going to be completely new,
Please.
because it would make it so much easier to read, not having to try to cross-reference everything.
Yeah. That's a great question. That's a good one.
Yeah, because I feel like she needs a series where she doesn't include all the series that she has into like one big thing. Like, let's keep something separate.
I'm fine with like the little Easter eggs, like how there's always been little Easter eggs in the series. I'm okay with that, because those are just like, I feel like, fun. But I was not a fan, as we know, like, of the crossover, like the actual like real deal crossover, like Easter eggs out the window, like we have connected, and I just feel like she let us down on that one.
Right. I agree.
Would you ask her for an apology? I'm not kidding.
He's not kidding.
I don't think I'd ask her for an apology, but I would just really I just really want to know like why she went about it this way, or like if she was changing kind of like her style, like why would you do it on the end and to such a big chapter? But you know what, Ray, in all honesty, she does owe us all an apology.
Has anyone ever looked up whether she's addressed any of this in interviews?
I don't think she has. I mean, I haven't seen it go around social media, and usually anytime she does an interview, like it makes the rounds on social media, and I haven't seen it pop up, but also like there's a lot of people that are just 5-starring it, just because, and
SJM,
because it's SJM. So like, I feel like it's like she's still sitting at, I think, let me see what it's at, but it's still over 4 stars, and it's at a 4.3, which is, I feel like, kind of low for her, honestly, but
it's still not bad compared to what it could be.
Oh yeah, not bad at all. But I just feel like it'll never be bad, because she's gonna sell and people are gonna read and they're gonna give her 5 stars just because,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm gonna forever read. I'm one of those people that even after not liking this, if she put out another book next week, I'm buying it and I'm reading it. So
see, I don't know that if it was me. No, because I probably would, because there's a series that I do like, that one of the books that came out within the past couple of years was just like really hard to like get into in the very beginning, but then obviously I loved it towards the end. So
yeah,
obviously I still read the book. So
right.
yeah, I get it.
When I think of like the 15 books I read previous to this one, all of those were 5 stars except for one was a 4-star. So it's like I just have so much faith in her, and I think that's why, like, I, not just me, but just like so many people felt that letdown.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite sister in Milo, Jordan? And this has nothing to do with the books, guys. This is because my sister wants to know. I have 2 sisters besides. But Jordan's one of my sisters, and I have Sydney, and then Stephanie is my stepsister. But how I can't choose Jordan. I can't do that, because what if they watch this?
Jordan is making a strong stand to be the favorite.
Supportive of you in your channel, so
I do love that you're so supportive. So thank you so much for being a great sister and supporting me.
That's very sweet.
It means more to Amanda than she probably shows.
No.
Because Nikki says, sister, they weren't any of the book. That's because Nikki T was talking about my actual family, not the book. The way I also have 0 highlights in my ebook.
Is crazy because I feel like we're highlight fiends, especially like if I'm on a Kindle or like my phone. But this one only had one, and of course it was for the holy grail. Don't have glass.
Right? Shooketh.
Yeah.
Why would you ruin the crossover moment for us?
Ooh, these are the questions for SJM.
Yes. Because I did not get to everybody's questions. But that is a good question.
Mm.
There wasn't really anything much to it except to find out more about that world, all in an info dump. That could have been done so much better.
For sure. I'm glad you brought that up because that's so true. Yeah.
Are you so comfortable in your fame now that you're slacking on the writing?
Honestly.
She's going hardcore. I mean, she has been on the Today Show, the Kelly Clarkson Show.
Yeah,
I mean,
she has a lot of
thing here.
Yeah.
LMAO Ray. Agreed, Ray. We do deserve one. I think they're talking about the apology.
Yeah. Over 800 pages of that. Amanda, where is your rating now? We started the show and you were at a 3.
Good question.
I was actually going to bring that up next.
Oh, I'm sorry. Strike it from the memory.
Well,
I just got so excited. I apologize.
That was going to be my last and final thoughts for the both of us, is if we change our ratings at all.
Okay, then just pretend like I didn't ask. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Dana has not changed her rating. Got it. I think I might be actually going on to. It's okay.
Wait, hold on. Say that again. I think.
Everything you say makes me laugh anyway. So.
Hold on. Can you say that one more time? I think my internet got a little. My internet got a little laggy.
Well, pretty much anything you say makes me laugh anyway.
Oh wow, thanks.
But what?
I don't know. I didn't hear you.
Did you hear me that time?
No. What did you change it? Did you keep it?
I guess Nikki says it's me because I'm lagging for her too. Weird.
I think we're good now though.
But can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. So what I was originally saying before I was going to go into my rating change, I was trying to tell you that I laugh at everything you say anyways when it comes to this book. So
but, you're such a nice friend. Like, you allowed me to ramble.
It's so much fun listening to you ramble, though. I enjoy it. It gives me, it makes me laugh.
Oh, thank you so much.
But I am changing my rating just a tiny bit. I'm going down to
2. 2?
Yeah. I'll probably go on to Goodreads and change that.
Yeah.
Because this was not her best. It could have been done so much better.
Mm-hmm. There's a part of me, Amanda, that wants to go to like a 1. But it just feels so wrong. It just feels so wrong. But every time I think about it, I just think like,
if you hated it that much, then I think you should.
I know. I have to sit with it, but man, I don't know. Probably a 1. Don't be surprised if you go on Goodreads and you see an update.
Just put your whole list in there. That'll make sense.
Oh my god, the ramblings of off the wall.
Just be like at the top, potential spoilers, ramble, big ramble coming. If you don't want to read, skip. Otherwise, keep reading. I can hear you just a little slow in the picture. Well, at least it was working now. It happens to the best of us.
God knows it happens to mine. Ugh.
Right? Ha ha ha. Too. I'll probably have to lower mine at some point. Yeah, because now that I'm talking about it more, I see a lot more problems than I did at the beginning. I went from a 4 to a 3, now I'm going down to a 2. So I'm going down like 2 stars overall.
Yeah.
I have to really think like it. For me, I have to like really think about it and discuss it with people before I could really decide this is my final rating. So I tend to go from like a higher star to a lower star after I talk about it with somebody.
Yeah, but you took the time. I think you had like a good amount of time to really think about it, because when you
Yeah.
think about it though, it's over 800 pages. Like that's a lot to process, like a lot of information to process, and then to be able to give like a rating right away, because I had to sit with it for a little bit too before I settled on a 2.
Yeah.
And I might even change it down to a 1, but um it just, I think when you like think about like she just didn't give us, I think, enough to warrant like that being 800 pages.
Right.
You know, like the
Okay.
audiobook was like
I think
29.
it was 835.
Yeah.
It was actually like 34 pages longer than the second book.
And that's crazy because I don't know. It just, wow.
So I specifically remember the second book ended on page 801.
Mm,
I don't know why I remember that so specifically, but I do.
stuck in there, huh?
Probably because of the ending to the second book.
Yeah. Yeah. What an epic ending.
Right? And then it turns into something that wasn't even that great. I was hoping for so much more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed. Yeah.
I feel you.
So I think that's all we have for today.
Hi.
Unless you have any final thoughts.
No, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be a guest on your channel and hang out and talk about this, because I know like we love SJM so much. So I was
Right?
excited to be able to chat with you even more about this, because we've had our own little private chat
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, I just want to say
All
thank
the
you
rants.
for allowing me to be a part of your space on here.
Well, I always love when you join me.
Thank you.
Same with you guys too, Nikki and Karina. Thanks for the chat. Glad you were here.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
don't know if I could have carried this whole you could have carried the whole thing without you guys, so
Yeah, for sure.
you guys make it so much better.
Definitely.
Thanks for the rants.
I feel like we all just had therapy. We had group
Right?
therapy just now.
I also want to thank my sister and her boyfriend Mike for joining.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And Karina tried to go down to a 2.
Ooh, stunning.
So we're on the same page, Karina.
It was my mission to see these ratings fall. Just kidding. Or am I?
Well, who knows? Well, thank you all for coming, and thank you, Dana, for being here. It was so much fun with you. Oh wait, Karina says a new review says,
Oh, I can't wait to read this.
We got to see this, and then we could go.
Yeah,
I want to know what she's gonna say. Is it Sarah Janey who wrote the Throne of Glass series in the room with us?
She's not.
Is there Janet?
Janet. I think.
Oh, Janet.
Yeah.
Is it? Gotcha. Is it Sarah Janet who wrote the Throne of Glass series in the room with us?
Janet.
Sorry.
It was the stress, the excitement.
That was his climactic.
We got what you meant.
Yeah. Took me a minute, but I got it. For the real SJM, please stand up.
Come on, Slim Shady. Yeah. Please stand up. Please stand up. Raymond? Is Ray there still?
Yes.
I'm here.
Ray, Eminem has entered the chat. Me and Ray have a lifelong bond now over Eminem.
Perfection. So again, thank everybody. I want to thank everyone for being here, and Dana, who
thank you for
one of the besties.
Oh, thank you, bestie.
And Love all of you guys. Thank you for everybody who's been watching, even though you weren't commenting. I still appreciate you being here. So if you liked it, make sure you give a big thumbs up. If you want to see more bookish content and more live shows in the future, please make sure you smash the subscribe button and keep on keeping on. And I will see you all in the next one.
Bye.